Hello, hello. After a raw and chilly day, the good news is the rain is moving out. We should have a slightly drier evening and a slightly more dry week ahead. Although Tuesday we could see some snow flurries or snow showers. I'm Camden Walker for capitalweathergang.com. Anytime you need us, we're there on the blog or on Twitter at Capital Weather. Thanks for joining me for this Sunday sunset Q&A. And as you can see, the week ahead, it offers warmer weather compared to today. It was a low bar today with some damp, chilly air, but we have encouraging signs with more sunshine than not. Breezes are around, but kind of under control, at least until Wednesday. And precipitation chances fairly low. It's a fairly dry week. We'll watch Tuesday for snow flurries and snow showers, and maybe we'll see something on Friday that is worth keeping an eye on, but it's only a 1 out of 10 on our SPI, so keep that in mind. Here's what we also have for you on the blog: the latest ski conditions on the ski report at cwg.news/slopecast, and our latest forecast. The PM update just got published about 13 minutes, 14 minutes ago. Go to cwg.news/latest. Even though this is the morning forecast, I promise you cwg.news/latest routes you to the PM update. So please check that out. And the other encouraging news, our day length of day, or our day light from sunrise to sunset, it is getting longer. We're over 9.5 hours now in the DC area. And hey, Gary, happy New Year from Portland. I really appreciate you tuning in. It's really good to see you. Maine had a dusting, I think, yesterday, Gary, so that's excellent. Liz, hello, happy New Year. Any break coming? Yes, indeed. In this rain, we are going to see it pull out tonight, so just be patient. It is going to pull east of I-95 the next hour or so. And Abby, no 50s for this week. Generally, it's average for this time of year, maybe a hair above average, in fact. 40s for highs this week and 30s for low temperatures. So great question, Abby. And Margaret, happy and healthy New Year to you as well. I offer you as my gift a slightly sunnier and drier, slightly milder week ahead after today's raw and chilly conditions. But again, the good news is the rain is moving out. I am so pleased to see it get out today. I was very unmotivated to get outside, so I need to make up for that in this coming week since it will be drier generally. We could, yes, see snow flurries, maybe a couple snow showers on Tuesday with a weak cold front, but it's generally a dry cold front. And then, of course, we're watching Friday, as you may have seen on our Snow Potential Index, or SPI, today on Capital Weather, on Twitter at Capital Weather, and on the blog capitalweathergang.com. It's a 1 out of 10 we're watching for Friday, so just a 10% chance or so of something developing on Friday. And of course, you can go to cwg.news/slopecast for our latest ski slope conditions. And the PM update just got released. This is the morning forecast, but I promise you, if you go to cwg.news/latest or touch on my face, all the links we're talking about pop up below for the latest forecast and the ski slope conditions, or above. You'll see the links if you're watching this video on your desktop or laptop. And here's the other good news. We've got sunrise and sunset spreading apart a little more to create a day length of over 9.5 hours. So I hope that is some solace. And next time you talk to me next Sunday will be after 5 p.m. Woo! All right, so let's see. Hi, Rick. Happy New Year. 37 degrees in Fairfax. Yes, raw and chilly. I think around 40 here around the Beltway. And Lori, best wishes for 2021. You as well. And Charlene, thank you so much for making us part of your Sunday evening. I appreciate you tuning in for these weekly Sunday sunset chats. And David, I will check out your website that you just shared. Thank you so much. And Gary, indeed, you had a little bit of dusting there in Portland, Maine yesterday. It's raw and chilly at 30 to 33. Oof, I am sorry about that. And yes, up Belfast, Bangor, they had much more snow up there. And Rodney, just tuning in, snow possibility on Friday, only a 1 out of 10 chance. We need some sun. I totally appreciate the need for sunshine, and I have good news since I need it as well. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday especially, could have more sun than not. But yes, periodic clouds around, especially with a weak cold front coming through on Tuesday. So maybe snow flurries or a couple snow showers on Tuesday, but overall it's a fairly dry week. The chance for precipitation on Friday, while it says 30% there, if we're looking for the chance of accumulating snow on our Snow Potential Index, we have it at a 1 out of 10 for Friday, maybe Saturday. So stay tuned to capitalweathergang.com and follow us on Twitter at Capital Weather. As we get closer to Friday and Saturday, we will keep you posted on the potential for snow or mixed precipitation if it even materializes. So we have to watch that. Just stay patient, stay tuned. Thank you so much. We'll keep you posted on that chance for Friday, Saturday, if there's any winter precipitation. What else do I have for you? Rumors about next Tuesday, setting up for something, Clay. That is a little early, but I will look ahead to next work week for you. We could see temperatures kind of try and battle a little bit of a cold potential, as you're probably excited about, but it is not set in stone. Here's the Climate Prediction Center. A for above average, B for below average, and the color shadings indicate how much of a probability for above average or below average. So darker the red, that's higher probability for above average, and darker the blue, that's a higher probability for below average, not necessarily directly correlating to the magnitude of chill or the magnitude or the mildness this time of year. But that aside, you can see at least the mid-Atlantic is kind of equal chances for maybe being near normal. Could be atmospheric signal slightly above average perhaps, but no clear signal just yet. So in short, Tuesday's potential weather next week is looking like low probability. If you're talking about Tuesday flurries for this week, yes, we could see a cold front move through with some snow showers, snow flurries, but please don't hold your breath for major accumulating snow, maybe a dusting on patchy grassy surfaces, especially north and west of town. We'll keep you posted, of course, at capitalweathergang.com. It's just looking like a generally dry cold frontal passage, but we can't rule out a couple flurries, a couple snow showers on this Tuesday as well. All right, what else do I have for you? The good news is radar shows rain is pulling out after this raw and chilly day, and it should be a drier evening going forward and a drier week going forward, albeit, yes, as we talked about, the chance for Tuesday, maybe a couple snow showers or snow flurries, but next major chance of precipitation is Friday, Saturday, and we're watching that for a 1 out of 10 chance of maybe wintry precipitation. We have, as you've seen today in our main forecast, our SPI, our snow potential index, is a 1 out of 10. So we're not giving you high hopes. Please manage those expectations, snow lovers. All right, let's see. We've got Ferdi Fernandez. Hello. Thanks for tuning in. All the best to you for New Year. And Gary, indeed, hello to you and everyone. I appreciate, good to see you for a moment there from Maine. And Jim, yes, we have some negative readings on the NAO and AO, and we're not sure if that flips us to a colder pattern by mid-January, Jim. So we've got a little bit of noise in the data, as it were, and I guess the more simple way of saying it is that uncertainty remains on if and when a cold pattern shift happens for mid-January. But in the meantime, we have a generally decent week ahead, and I'll show you temperatures. Signals for next week are not majorly cold or for below average temperatures or above average temperatures. Here's the national picture, but in the mid-Atlantic, no major atmospheric signal just yet for next week. If you were looking for snow and cold, it's not quite there. And remember our average high temperature, we're getting right closest to our coldest point of the year here in the mid-Atlantic. For DCA at the airport, the high temperature right now, 43 degrees for average and a 29 degree average low temperature. And we only get a little bit colder between the 12th and 24th of January thereabouts, where the low temperature dips down to 28 degrees. So we're more or less into our coldest point of the year. So keep that in mind. Snow chances are kind of naturally a little bit higher since we don't have to cool the atmosphere much below average to get snowfall. So that's good news for snow lovers. And then we can look at precipitation for next week. There is a slight signal, slight probability for below average precipitation. So that doesn't bode well either necessarily for snow lovers. But of course, a quick, smaller snow system could sneak in here for a day or two to give us a quick lower precipitation, lower temperature and higher precipitation chance. So keep that in the back of your mind. Don't write off completely next week. And then breezes, we're talking about them generally being around this week, especially Wednesday looks like to be the gustiest, breeziest day, where the wind chill could be about feeling 10 degrees, maybe up to 10 degrees below Wednesday's air temperature on the thermometer. But here it is through tomorrow at 3 p.m. Not a major factor, our breezes, but dress, several degrees cooler with the wind. The breezes, even at this level, with seasonably chilly temperatures in the 40s or so for high temperatures, you might want to subtract a few degrees extra with these breezes around for wind chill factor up to 5 degrees below where it could feel in the air, might look like on the air temperature thermometer as you're reading it. And then rainfall amounts, moisture amounts for this week. Do we see? We're not sure. A wintry precipitation threat Friday into Saturday, only a 1 out of 10 chance, as you may have seen on our SPI, or snow potential index, in this morning's forecast and tweeted out at Capital Weather on Twitter. So it's not a majorly wet week. The Delmarva has a higher potential in the mid-Atlantic of seeing more moisture this week. Of course, this is 7 days going through Saturday, and a little bit of this includes today's rainfall, since we're looking at kind of a 1 week period. So keep that in mind as well. All right, what else do I see from you? Oh, Gary, thanks for the signal report. I hope it is better now. And Liz, no major snowstorm with any confidence to report around the 15th. We are watching the potential for a flip to colder temperatures by middle of January, but the signals in the atmosphere are not quite there yet for a high confidence forecast for any storm or any temperature regime whatsoever. So please take any social media event you might see advertising a storm around the 15th. It is not gospel. It is not in stone. It is not a sure thing at all. The short term is kind of with higher forecast confidence that we're looking at for this week. It is seasonally chilly in the 40s, and overnight lows are also just a hair above average in the 30s for much of the region. And the good news is we do warm up a little bit after compared to today's raw chilly temperatures. So that's good. We're a little sunnier for this week. If we could use a little bit of vitamin D, a little bit of placebo effect of just brighter skies, I'll take that as well. Again, the breezes are here and there, Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday might be the breeziest day of the week. So subtract a kind of a feels like temperature up to 10 degrees cooler than what you see there for Wednesday. If it does maybe see some gusty over 20 mile per hour wind gusts. But Tuesday has that small chance of flurries or snow showers, and then Friday is the main chance. If we even see a Friday, Saturday wintry threat, only a 1 out of 10 chance on the SPI, on our snow potential index. So, it's not too active, but we have a couple things here and there. Tuesday flurries, maybe Friday has some snowflakes with the rain, but we gotta still watch Friday. So stay tuned to capitalweathergang.com. On Twitter as well, we're at Capital Weather. And Tanner, so far, no polar vortex outbreak expected just yet, but let's look ahead to what that means when the polar vortex breaks off from the North Pole and kind of shifts southward toward a region. Yes, we could see colder temperatures break out, but this is looking ahead for atmospheric signals next week, and this does not look like an atmosphere that is primed for a polar vortex outbreak, a piece of the polar vortex breaking off from the Arctic area for us. So temperatures, slight chance they're above average for next work week, but I just wanted to show you this. There's no major atmospheric signal either way for our region overall, but cold lovers and snow lovers just don't have high expectations that we see just quite yet. What could be a flip to colder temperatures by mid-January, it's just not quite set in stone just yet, but we're watching it at capitalweathergang.com, and I'll help keep you posted next Sunday as well. I'm Cam Walker for capitalweathergang.com. Thank you for tuning in to these Sunday sunset chats, these Q&As that we do for about 20 minutes, and I've got looks like about 6-7 minutes more, so let me know if you have any questions or comments. And here's the average high temperature this time of year for context I did not provide you. It's 43 degrees for an average high temperature at DCA Airport, 29 degrees for an average low temperature at DCA Airport, and we're very close to our coldest time of year. So winter lovers, cold weather lovers, you should rejoice in that a little bit. It doesn't take much to get snow since we're at our coldest point between January 12th and January 24th. We'll get that average low temperature down to 28 degrees. So we're just about approaching our coldest time of year. Again, precipitation chances for next work week, not great. They're looking slightly below average at this point from the Climate Prediction Center. So we'll keep you posted on details as we get closer, because of course forecast confidence does get a little better, higher confidence as we get closer, and we can get more nitty-gritty details for you as we get closer as well. And of course, Friday, as you see here, 30% chance of rain, 10% chance of some winter precipitation, and we'll keep you posted as we get closer with our snow potential index, our SPI, every day on the blog at capitalweathergang.com and in our morning forecasts. Anytime that we see in the next week or so the chance for accumulating snowfall, and 1 out of 10 should kind of indicate that it's not the highest expectation that we have for Friday or Saturday turning into a wintry precipitation event. All right. Thank you so much, Lee. You really appreciate you tuning in. Thank you. And Rodney, Happy New Year. And I really appreciate you as well. Could not do this without you. And Liz, Snowmageddon, we don't have that in the past. We don't have the high polar vortex, the cold temperatures coming southward, and the active subtropical jet stream providing moisture overrunning the cold air. I mean, we weren't all that cold for that winter 2009 to 2010, but we just need the moisture to line up with the cold air coming southward out of Canada. But that was a little bit of a freak setup. We just had the storm tracks were perfectly coming off of the subtropical stream with some moisture as we had Arctic air coming southward out of Canada. And yeah, Liz, that's just super hard for us to get here in the mid-Atlantic. We're always on the line except for that winter. It seemed like winter storm after winter storm with snowfall piling up for us here in the DC region. That was our greatest snowfall of record snowfall. Let's look at what we have there. 56.1. That was the record most snowfall there in 2009 and 2010, Liz. So you have a good memory of that winter. I'm sure it was only about 10 years ago. But it's been a dry, like snow drought. We've had the least amount of snow in any calendar year in 2020. So we continue as we track on capitalweathergang.com. Our snowfall tracker still is 0 for this year as well. Well, hopefully soon, even for me, not being a huge snow lover, I could use a little bit of snow for some mood setting purposes, just to remind me that it is winter, right? So there you have it, our snowfall tracker, which you can find on capitalweathergang.com. And yeah, Rohini 2016 was also decent for snow. And hopefully this year we get tour average snowfall of 15.4 inches there at DCA Airport. So thank you all for tuning in. I'm Camden Walker for capitalweathergang.com. I've got a bunch of graphics here for you. And the good news is that in the short term, the rain is moving out. Here's radar showing that the rain is moving out west to east, creating a slightly drier evening and setting us up for a more enjoyable work week ahead. More sun and maybe warmer temperatures, especially compared to today. Yes, still seasonably chilly with 40s for high temperatures. It's just a hair above average for this time of year, and 30s for low temperatures. But hey, after today's raw and chilly conditions, I'll take even peaks of sunshine this upcoming week. Wednesday, yes, could be the sunniest and the driest potential, with breezes though compensating and maybe taking off wind chill values, creating maybe 5 to 10 degree wind chill below what you see there on the potential thermometer forecast. So keep that in mind. And then Tuesday, not quite depicted here. There is a cold front kind of come through its week and mostly dry, but we could see some flurries or some snow showers on Tuesday as well. And we'll keep you posted if that turns into anything at all substantial. Very unlikely, but stay tuned to capitalweathergang.com and follow us on Twitter at Capital Weather. And of course, we're tracking the Friday, Saturday storm potential. Right now, only a 1 out of 10 chance on our snow potential index, our SPI, as you've seen on capitalweathergang.com today and on Twitter at Capital Weather. We don't have high hopes for it turning wintry this storm on Friday, Saturday, but we'll keep you posted if it's materialized, first of all, and second, if it turns into a snowier versus rainier event. So we have all of that to consider as well. And here's what we have from the blog, cwg.news/slopecast, for the latest on the ski resort conditions, which should get better after this kind of rainy weekend, and colder temperatures overnight hours should allow them to produce some snow in the upcoming week or two. And of course, our latest forecast, this is the morning forecast, but the PM update just got out after I started finishing my broadcast preparation. You can go to cwg.news/latest, or all these links touching on my face will pop up below on your mobile device or above if you're on your desktop or laptop. And don't also forget, today we pushed out our Gifts for the Homeless, giftsforthehomeless.org. Look it up and go to gfth.org/donating. And you can please help out the local homeless by donating to that cause, and 100% goes to helping our local homeless population here in the DC area. It's a charity I've worked with for almost a decade, and we're very pleased to be partnering with them. As you've seen on Twitter and spoke today, I pushed out one of our donation requests so that we don't forget about the homeless during this winter when it's very cold. Many are scores, dozens, hundreds are sleeping outside in cold tents. So please keep that in mind for your purposes of donating as well if you can this year. So here's the work week ahead. Let me take some questions and comments. See you next week, Gary. Thanks for tuning in. And Lee, Happy New Year to you as well. And Happy New Year, Sarah. And where should we go to find snow in a day trip, Rohini? That is a very good question. See if you can get to Garrett County or Snowshoe, West Virginia. Anything kind of well west or north of town. The Homestead down in Bath County, Virginia has some snow. And also central Pennsylvania toward Pittsburgh should have some snow as well. And that is kind of the closest I can think of. Just north and west of town and the higher elevations is where you can still find some snow. That was a great question. And Misha, turning wintry, well, it's seasonably chilly this week. We could see temperatures get cooler next week, but there's not a major indication, according to the Climate Prediction Center, of we would be in the blue, which would indicate below average temperature probabilities for next week, but we're just not there. This is, again, is looking at next work week. A for above average, B for below average. Stronger the orange, the higher the probability of being above average for your temperatures on average next week, and the deeper the blue curve, the higher the probability, the higher the potential for being below average. It doesn't necessarily indicate colder or warmer based on the shading, but as you can see in the mid-Atlantic, we kind of have equal chances of being a little above average, maybe a little below average, kind of near normal for next work week. So sorry if you're looking for cold air. We are watching the potential, and we'll keep you posted on kind of our medium range forecast for next week on capitalweathergang.com and on Twitter at Capital Weather. So sorry, snow and cold lovers, you have to wait a little bit longer. And at least the good news is we are nearing our lowest average temperatures for this time of year, at least at DCA Airport. By January 12th, we get to officially the coldest part when we bump that average low temperature down to 28 degrees. But we're about at our coldest average high temperatures right now here in January. So we don't have to do much to get snowier conditions and colder conditions. And it's seasonally chilly this week. And we're watching snow flurries, snow showers potentially on Tuesday. No accumulation really expected, but we'll keep you posted if it turns into a dusting or something. And then Friday and Saturday, right now it's 30% chance of rain, but we're watching it. As you saw on our snow potential index, or SPI, we have a 1 out of 10 on the blog today on capitalweathergang.com for that 10% chance it turns a little wintry in this precipitation event if it materializes Friday into Saturday. Well, thank you all for tuning in. Liz, thank you so much. And Misha, indeed, it was a raw and chilly day, but at least it's pulling out. This rain is pulling out this evening, setting us up for a drier time tomorrow and into most of this week. It looks fairly dry, a little bit sunnier, although some clouds and breeze are around. It will continue to feel like January. Thank you all for tuning in for this weekly Sunday Sunset Chat. I'm Camden Walker, and we're always on the blog, capitalweathergang.com, on Twitter at Capital Weather, and all the links we talked about you can touch on my face. They'll pop up below on your mobile device or above on your desktop or laptop at cwg.news/slopecast for the latest conditions and our latest forecast at cwg.news/latest. Take care and have a safe start, continued safe start to your new year. I appreciate you tuning in. Bye for now.